Welcome to the Blue Oasis podcast. This is the podcast for finding peace and prosperity in your life, learning the history of hobbies, as well as making a little side hustle out of your hobbies. If you want to find balance in your life and find peace, this is your show. Get ready. You're listening to the Blue Oasis podcast. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. So good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? So the title of this episode is Use Your Hobby to Create a Job Instead of Going to College. I genuinely believe that. Certainly in the 2020s, I think we're going to see a lot less people go to college. Certainly in terms of that four-year degree, because becoming an admin assistant, there really should not be a college education requirement to earn 50, 60 grand a year, certainly for something like Microsoft Office and the essentials, and just learning the back end of like Microsoft Access or something. It makes literally no sense. In terms of college athletics, if you're going to do well in a sport, you're going to go off to the MLB, NHL, NBA, NFL, whatever. And if you are going to be a professional soccer player, you'll go earn some money there, but it's not going to be enough. The one thing that you got to keep in mind is that the NCAA is a moneymaker propped up in by our tax dollars, and it's not worth it. And it's not worth it to fund something that some people are not going to go to, certainly when there are sports that don't even break even. Probably the biggest issue that just happened recently was that the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 against the NCAA and stated that they were violating Title IX, and with that, that means that you have to treat each athlete equally, regardless of race and gender or sex. Here's the example. So let's say Katie Ledecky gets $25,000 of a scholarship, but let's say Mr. Butler, not referring to anyone specifically. Okay, I'm referring to Jimmy Butler. Let's say him at the time. Let's say they're going to school at the same time, hypothetically speaking. He only gets $25,000, or the inverse could be true. Could happen as well. Now, Title IX states you have to give them the same scholarship. Either you give them a scholarship or not. And that's also weird because there are definitely D3 athletes that do not earn scholarships and are just walk-ons and everything else, and then make a difference there. So that's also something to keep in mind. So to avoid all this complicated nonsense, if you're an athlete, go play a minor league sport, go play an amateur sport or something. If you're in the minor league baseball, for example, yes, you can earn a little money. If you make it to AAA, you can make 80 grand a year pitching or something. And you don't even have to hit. If you're like with an AL club, an American League club, you can earn some money. So yeah, it's crazy to do that. Tennis, golf, you can go straight to the pros or go to the Olympics and try out for the Olympics and get sponsorships to you. And in fact, it's probably better that you don't go to college and be on the golf team, for example. No one, no one in their right mind is watching golf, college golf. I couldn't name them, like Roy McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Johnson, whoever. God, I forgot his first name. Those guys are on the Golf Channel. They're not like the Golf Channel is not broadcasting NCAA golf. They, like, if you want to get noticed, go out and get noticed. Is what I'm saying. Another thing, trades. I know someone who works on motorcycles, and there is actually no reason why I think he should have gone to college. He has said it before. Like, he learned more with motorcycles on his own than than going to college. Now, I think he actually learned some principles of business through college, but where are you going to learn more and more effectively? On the job, in the trade, and from a mentor, not in a classroom taking notes, listening to boring lectures, and paying thousands of dollars a year and drinking 6 nights a week. You're not going to do that. You're not going to learn effectively. It just doesn't happen. For those of you that may come across this and actually listen to this, if you're on like Spotify, here's something else. You're in high school right now, right? Imagine this. If you are in high school, stick with me real quickly. What are you really into? And if you cannot answer that, you certainly shouldn't be going away to college. Go work at a diner for 6 months, then get back to me. Heck, go to France, assume whenever you can, and don't spend a lot of money in France. Please, don't waste it, and don't go into debt to go to France. That's another thing, debt. You're going to go to a 4-year university, you do not know what you are majoring in, and you get a 20 on your ACT. What business do you have in college going to a 4-year university? If you want to just take classes at the local community college. Don't waste your time spending tens of thousands of dollars a year going to learn something that you may wind up changing your major 3 times for. You probably will. Now, to add to that, you may have some classes that you enjoy, but is it really worth it to go to a 4-year university just for the game day experience? I don't think it is. So if you really want to see a college basketball game or a football game, go to the university and buy a ticket. Don't spend thousands of dollars to get a discount on a game. It's not worth it. I went to college football games. They were enjoyable. Not worth it to spend tens of thousands of dollars a year and spend 3 years of your life paying that debt back. Because, if you're lucky like me, you're going to spend most, you're not going to be able to pay that back in your 20s unless you eat ramen and just live below your means and don't go out and don't have any friends for the next 5 years. So that is definitely the one thing that I regret not doing, is spending more time with my friends over the years. So is not being able to spend more time with my friends. You're better off buying a used car and driving Uber for 4 years than going to college in most circumstances. I mean, if you worked 80 hours a week, you would definitely make more than someone making 65 grand a year, assuming you are getting good tips and not getting like a dollar tip or like 5% tip or something like that. It's crazy. I was watching a YouTube video of this guy, Lennar something or other, Lennar Young, I think. I think he's got like 4 million subscribers on YouTube. Anyway, he said the title of the video was Jobs That Make You Rethink Life. And then he said, so it's him and his friends. He portrays himself as this PhD making $25 an hour, and his friends say, "Oh, they did you dirty, buddy. They did you dirty." And then his friends who are doing basically nothing in terms of work, like one of them tests out couch and sits on couches and makes $200 an hour, and then someone cleans light bulbs for $100 an hour, and someone else does watches dogs for $50 an hour, and doesn't even have to walk them. It's pretty funny because there are so many jobs out there. Like, you could make thousands of dollars a month watching Netflix. You could be a professional Netflix watcher. It's crazy what our economy has sprung up. And 30 years ago, this conversation would have not been happening had it not been for podcast technology and RSS feeds and everything of the sort. All right. Before I get into this too deeply, we will go and read the ads. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Skillshare.com. Skillshare.com has all that you need from classes. Instead of spending thousands of dollars a semester, tens of thousands of dollars a semester on stupid college courses, go to Skillshare.com, pay $100, get your first 2 months free, and you can take over 20,000 classes on your time and come back to them whenever you like, and it saves your progress. So use that link in the show notes and go try it out now, because if you increase your skill level, you increase your pay outcome. Next, Growing the Game is out on audible.com. Try my new audio book. Go listen to that now. It is 2 hours and 22 minutes. And if you are a big fan of baseball, go try that out. Go listen to it. And it'll be a great thing as well. And use the promo link for the free sign-up, for the free trial, rather. God, I can't speak today. And next up, we've got my buddy Will's digital handwritten letters. Head over to www.am8u.com. This, you will have to fill out 3 PDFs of your handwriting, from letters to special characters. They will help you get help you drive more sales to your website. So definitely go check that out right now. am8u.com. Go try that out, and if you haven't already, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and check out my website. And my email address is in the show. One more thing before we get back to this. If you like what you are hearing here, please give me 5 stars. Rate this on Spotify, iTunes, Google, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to this. And please consider a donation to the show. All donations go back into this for hosting fees and equipment. So, thank you. All right. So, we've got quite a lot of opportunity out there, and I do think college is going to go the way of the dodo bird, because, to become a doctor, yeah, you do need to go to college, but you should be around a mentor. You shouldn't be required to take prereqs like, philosophy or gender studies or pretty much anything else ending in studies. The idea that you're going to take computer, a basic computer course is just baffling to me. It is so dumb that, that you're going to have to take a basic, to do some basic things like, okay, maybe not computers, but like even a history class in order to go to medical school, or you need to, you definitely need English and math. Let's not get wrong, but anything ending in studies or philosophy or doing like a gym, okay, maybe a gym class makes sense, but even something like art history should not be on the table when you're trying to go to medical school. You should be around a mentor and actually be on the ground learning what is going on, and then so just get your basics of medicine, anatomy, whatever whatever science course you need to take, but it should just be primarily medical courses, not art history. And if we actually had apprenticeships or trades, we would be better off. Apprenticeships can actually pay you money sometimes, and it's also important to recognize that most people didn't go to college until around the 80s or 90s, and they were still doing trades. They were becoming auto mechanics, electricians, those sorts of things, plumbers, and it paid well. It paid well to be an HVAC guy. It still pays well to be an HVAC guy. No debt. You can take a beautiful girl on a date, and you can put a down payment on a house sooner, probably before you're 30, assuming you are making at least $70,000 a year and you've got insurance. I will never understand why we just had, became so stupid about education. Something like computer science is a great major, but to become a web developer, you don't need a college degree. There are companies right now who are seeking out specifically web developers, and if you've got at least a high school education and a portfolio to show, then you can still be good. We made the biggest mistake outsourcing so much to universities, and there are now some kids who do not want to go to college. Roberto Blake is this YouTuber who actually dropped out of college, and he's got like 600,000 YouTube subscribers, and he knows how to sell things online digitally. And I learned from my mentor, Jason Stapleton, who bought a $300 course from him, and it has served me well. for nearly a year. That served me well. And if it wasn't for what happened in 2020, the Budweiser virus, if it wasn't for that, I mean, I probably would have still created audiobooks and published more books, but I would not have considered creating a course building this. And, that's the other thing. You can get into real estate as well, or you can actually teach without actually going to a college and getting the formal, paying tens of thousands of dollars a year to teach in a public school. I can sell this thing for $300, find 1,000 people each year, and make $300,000 a year. It's stupid how we just don't think about these things. And I wish I had a business mentor. I wish I found Pat Flynn sooner, and it was rough. What I might do is actually, I can't sell. There are some things I can't sell. I do have a free Upwork PDF on my website, which if you need help doing that, definitely go check that out as well. But my goal now is to make sure we don't go into more debt, we don't belly up the universities, and because they are corrupt. They are going to take kids that do not deserve to be there and should have been rejected. If you only take one AP course and you get a 3 on it, and you have like a 20 ACT or like a 1,300 out of a 2,400, yeah, you should be rejected from school from a 4-year university, and you need to go to the community college. And I was that person who needed to go to community college and did not deserve a magazine article. For those of you that know the story, I got in on a technicality. It was an FTP program. That's what they called it, a freshman transition program. So I technically was not a student, not a full student at Towson, because I was taking community college courses at a 4-year university. I was so dumb back at 18 years old. So dumb. And I just went along with it just to get a magazine article. Not worth it. If it's not worth it to get a magazine article from my testimony, why should the average kid go to do it in that scenario? I mean, I think we would have been better off just if the university, if Towson would have just rejected all of us at that point. And some actually probably would go to other 4-year universities. They would have stayed in state, and others like me would have gone to a community college and saved a bunch of money. That, I honestly think they would have done us a huge favor, and I probably would have gotten in next semester and tried to do something as well. Although I probably wouldn't have played on my birthday, and would have and coach probably wouldn't have put me in the following year. And he was protecting me too. I barely played. I played probably the least amount you could have played for college hockey. It really wasn't worth it, and I'm grateful I became a coach during those 2 years. But I should have become a coach with my old team and taught them the ropes as well. it's pretty amazing how things turned out. But yeah, that's life. I will never I regret wasting all that time in college, and I could have been married had I played my cards right more and actually given some girls a chance, and also gave take a shot and just get out there more. I really could have been married if it's crazy. It is crazy, man. But yeah, that's life. Yeah, so I mean, if you do want to go to a 4-year university, try and pursue marriage. Try and get married, because you know it is stressful enough when you get to your late 20s, or your mid 20s, like me, and you want to go find someone. It is hard as balls. Oh, jeez, I hate the dating app scene. I hate it so much, man. Oh, it's crazy. So if you're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars a year to get into your dream job, try and get married, and but hold off on the kids, and make sure you're out of debt before you bring a little one into the world. Oh, that will do it for this. And with that being said, if you liked what you heard here, please subscribe, follow this podcast, rate this, and consider giving out a donation to this so I can have the hosting fees done, and maybe buy some new equipment so I can give you all better episodes. And with that said, stay safe, stay great, and I'll talk to you then.